Yo, 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 yo. Want to start this off by saying, I know it's only Christmas Eve, but happy holidays. You know what I mean? Hopefully, those made the best of your situation. You know what I mean? And try to enjoy it the best way you can. You know what I mean? I know we feel because it's Christmas and the holidays that is always about gifts and giving and all of that, but society made it that way. In reality, it's Jesus' birthday. Let's all be grateful and stop being selfish. And, we should give all days to him, but let's definitely acknowledge this day a lot more than others. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Very well. It's Christmas Eve today, the 24th. Tomorrow, Christmas. But hopefully, people enjoying time to themselves or around people who you somewhat vibe with. I just put in the description. I was on 50 Cent Instagram, and I guess Big Meech tried to reach out to one of the actors that 50 Cent put on. And 50, he ain't gonna never let that go. Like 50 and Oskino from State Properties, like two dudes who you just really just need to leave alone for real because they not gonna let it go. Especially 50 Cent. This a dude who, he lost his mother at an early age. He don't, I'm not a lifetime mind reader, but I don't think he really ever met his pops. You know what I mean? He was raised by his grandparents slash the streets. So when it comes to feeling remorse or feeling guilt about something, 50 is just the wrong person who you need to really expect that from, as far as if you're on his bad side. Me personally, hit that like button. For y'all who just popped in, hit that like button at Tribe TV. We talk about 50 Cent not letting his foot off Big Meech Neck. And if you think about it for real, 50 Cent got a reason to feel how he feel as far as why he keep his foot on Meech Neck. Anytime Meech posts a tweet, do anything on Instagram, 50 got his foot on his neck. Because think about it like this, right? For everybody that's in here right now, make sure y'all hit that like button. If I put you on, you make $5 million or more off acting. I upgraded your lifestyle. No other rapper, entertainer, or nobody care who your son was. They showed no initiative on helping him try to blossom and figure out what he want to do with himself. Then you get 50 Cent, he come along, see the rose that it could possibly, a rose could grow through a concrete, and invest in him, send him to acting school, make sure his bills paid, looking out for his mom, you know what I mean? Doing stuff that people don't even do for their real blood. Okay, it's kind of like he made why has Santa Claus? Nah, man, Santa Claus is for, you seen what you six buzz, what it do, family. You seem like an adult, so Santa Claus is really something for kids, you know what I mean? As far as, I feel like they should go up to at least 5 to believe him, but at some point, hit that like button while you're here too, family. At some point, they got to know that hard work and being a good kid is what got you these gifts, not Santa. You know what I mean? It's cool to let them imaginate right now, but at some point, you got to keep it real and let them know. Me putting in 40 hours at Jack's Dining Shop or some shit is how you got this P5. Santa don't always should get credit just for sliding through a chimney and dropping gifts off. You got to keep it real and, let them know. You know what I mean? And yeah, bro, relax, bro. We blowing Doja, bro. We don't take nothing serious over here. You must was raised by a woman. You a little sensitive, bro. I know you joking. You gave me something to talk on, so I talked on it. You know what I mean? But yeah, 50 Cent is the wrong dude to cross, especially after he invested so much time and money in you, changed your life, and then for your dad to get out after doing 20 years on a 30-year bid to kick it with his main enemy, which is Rick Ross. I don't know where they do that at. I know in Meech's mind, he looking at it like I'm a boss too. A boss do what they want to do. But I know if you invest in my kid and nobody else even thought about investing in your kid, then at that when he invests in them, he start losing himself. He getting the money. Now you catching miscellaneous cases. You throwing drugs and shit on people that's supposed to be your partner. You got thoughts recording you. You know what I mean? Video and chatting and screenshot your messages. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like sometimes money can be the worst thing to hit certain people. Like, if you remember Lil Meech before, like, season 1 of BMF, let's keep it real. Like, you kind of fuck with him a little bit. Like, he was like, okay, he cool. I see potential. You know what I mean? Woo, 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 woo. But as time started going on and on and on and on, and I guess the more the fame comes, you hanging out with rappers, you want to wear chrome hearts, you buying this, spending 600,000 on a chain. You ain't even been acting that long to be doing that. And 50 Cent is an observant guy. So 50 probably sent back, 50 probably the reason why he got the accountants, lawyers, you know what I mean, his contract, the way it is, it's kind of on some G Unit type of time. Like 50 a real boss, so he pretty much probably know, his spending habit and what's going on, you know what I mean? But you living like a rapper, you hanging out with rappers at shows, you drinking lean, you doing all type of stuff. And if I was 50, I would be mad too. You put somebody through acting school, you know what I mean? You invest time in them, stuff that you ain't even do with your firstborn child who you don't even talk to. And then this dude be ungrateful by catching cases all the time, letting thoughts record them. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like, you going backwards. Like, the thing is when you get legal money, right? Legal money, you supposed to fall back. It's no time. It's like, I know this is weird what I'm finna say. It's kind of like, when all of us watching dudes on Instagram, right? And we like, they 30'd up, buttoned up, all of that. And then when you get in the courtroom, you get in front of the judge. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I just want to say, hold on. This is the time now that you done caught this life sentence to be even more savage. You don't turn your savage down because you think when you go to jail that people gonna kill, like it's more savages in there. So now it ain't the time to be crying now and tuck your tail. You wanted to be a savage, and you got to turn your savage up more because it's about 1,200 more savages where you finna go. You know what I mean? Bit of movie trivia for you. Richard Pryor and King was the word original cast for Trading Places. I ain't even know that, dog, for real. And I ain't gonna lie, I mess with both of them. You know what I mean? I don't like Richard Pryor. Don't take this the wrong way, Six Buzz, but Richard, he cool. I ain't gonna lie. To me, he wasn't like Eddie Murphy funny. You know what I mean? He had some funny parts. You know what I mean? I feel like people be, you know what I mean? But everybody got their taste though. To me, just Richard Pryor, I wouldn't put him as like a comedy great. I know I might get striked for saying that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, how dare you? You know what I mean? But nah, I ain't know that. Thanks for putting me on game though, because I actually just watched Trading Places, the original one with, Eddie Murphy and our boy who played Conehead. I can't think his name, but I actually just watched that. That's a classic. So, but yeah, 50 Cent is the type of dude where he only crossed the line and record you and do stuff what he do when he feel you not living up to being 100 like he did Young Buck. It's the same thing with Lil Meech and them, bro. Like, you don't ever allow a man to help you out, bring your kid from the dead. Nobody came back. You know what I mean? Put him on magazine covers, revamped him, reshaped your whole brand. You know what I mean? And then for you to come home and then, they're just going backwards. You know what I mean? So now anything you try to do now, you reach out to a producer. Did it 50 Cent survive multiple gunshots? Yeah. Yup. What's that? Rummy Hundreds 9? Yeah. Yeah. He survived multiple shots and then stab is just life in general. You know what I mean? So it's like, think about it like this. Rummy Hundred Tricks 9. Think about it like this. I got the bag. You got a kid. You go to jail. I look out for your kid. Everybody who you around, who you knew didn't even break bread with your kid. They might have gave him a shirt or something like that. Oh, here go a LV shirt. Here go this and that. Then all of a sudden, you in jail. You've been in jail 15, 20, 16 years. I take the time I invest in your kid. You come home and kick it with my op. Where they do that at? I don't know where they supposed to do that at. Like I know you a boss. You was a boss before you went to prison and all that, but you don't supposed to come home after I'm the one who's seen the light in them. And Lil Meech used to mess with Ross' daughter, like early on before he blew up with the acting. Him and Ross' daughter was dating, so Ross knew him. They been knew each other. Yeah, 50 was shot 9 times. Yeah, he was. Make sure y'all hit that like button too. It sent y'all notifications. Yeah, he was shot 9 times. Becky Jules 7-4. He was shot 9 times. Hit that like button. But he overcame that, and now look. The same way he was running the music business, he running the film industry, putting his foot on next. Everybody watching that. I know y'all done seen that Diddy doc. Tell me, have some of y'all seen that Diddy doc? Like, I ain't gonna count. Diddy. Now looking back, when you watch that new Diddy on Netflix, if y'all ain't seen it, go watch it. That nigga was always high. You know what I mean? But you already knew something was fruity with him when you would see him do weird shit, like put that wig on and pull it like he got a lace front and all that shit he was doing. And that ain't marijuana. That ain't gunfire. You feel me? That's like you on that other level of drugs type shit. Cause this ain't no drug. This from the herb. This is a plant. Okay, yeah, we got people, whatever. But marijuana is not a drug. Like my mama don't even trip off this. It's not bad. But 50 Cent is basically the type of dude that you would really want as a friend. Just stay loyal. You know what I mean? I want to ask the chat, why is it so hard nowadays to be loyal? I come from an era where if your dog got the bag, right? Let's just like me, all of us friends, right? Hit that like button. If I'm the weed man, I thought that if I got friends who trapping, y'all supposed to be buying from me. That's how you help your boy get rid of the bag. It's the same thing with the industry. You know what I mean? It's like, look, he the plug. Why not be loyal? He's the plug. I mean, it can't get no bigger than him. Like, you know what I mean? So it's the same thing as far as a street term. Like, look, I'm the weed man. Y'all all smoke weed. Why would you not buy from your dog? You know what I mean? That just don't make sense. And be loyal. You feel me? You know what I mean? So people be having the shit backwards, man. Nah, I ain't gonna cap. If your homie got some trash, you gotta let him know. Like, look, bro, I had to kind of cut you off because right now it's a hit and miss. I guess I gotta give you a week or two or whatever, and I'll get back with you. But I still shot with you a little $100 or something just to show love. You feel me or whatever. Even if you shot with him and gave it to some random strangers on the streets. I done that plenty of times where I got a sack some trees or something. You can't say nothing crazy. A sack, and then I just see a random person. I don't even know. Hey, you smoke? Hey, here you go. You can have this shit. Oh man, they think you just. Oh man, damn, thank you. You just gave me a quarter. Oh, da, 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 da. Nigga, I don't even want it. That shit is diet. And you smoke that shit. You know what I mean? Because we all know we try to support different people. You know what I mean? Even if it ain't your weed, man, you try to support. You know what I mean? Okay, all right, I'm gonna give you a little try. Woo, de woo, de woo, woo, woo. You know what I mean? And sometimes it be hit and miss. And if it's trash, me, instead of throwing it away, I'd rather, hey, you smoke here, you can have it. You know what I mean? I don't even want that shit. But I know me, if I met and knew 50 Cent or whatever, you know what I mean? I'm gonna play my role as far as on what I'm hired to do or just whatever role in general. You know what I mean? Like, if he give me a shout out for Tribe Culture TV, like if I run into 50, because when I'm finna go to New York, I go to New York, I run into 50, he shout me out Tribe TV. What I look like going down to Miami or anywhere and go get somebody who he don't mess with and then have them shout me out too. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of, even though it's all journalism and medium, you shouldn't really be picking sides. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? You got to go with who, you know what I mean, helping you out. You know what I mean? As far as your platform and trying to, the direction you trying to go. You know what I mean? You got a lot of bouginess out there when it comes to this industry shit. You know what I mean? When I was younger, you know what I mean? I used to have a lot of opportunities to be around certain people, but I always felt, for me on the outside looking in, that certain things I seen just threw me off that I couldn't get jiggy with. You know what I mean? So I come from where the era where when niggas wanted to be rappers, like I got people who I know want to be rappers, but You had you well, this concept still applies today. Listen, if you want to do music, you want to rap, right? You got to invest in yourself. You cannot make music and stay local and not spend a bag on going to at least Atlanta. Get you a room in Atlanta from Thursday to Sunday or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta go to New York, go to Houston, go to West Coast, go to different main markets where I know you can't hit all spots. And then nowadays, people be thinking it requires a big budget to do things. It really don't require a big budget. It really just require how you stack what little kibbles and bits that you make. You know what I mean? It's on the individual. You know what I mean? And sometimes, you know what I mean? See a lot. See with this, like I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Like when you go legit, right, and you trying to jump into the clothing business, uh, we got it all. I got duffel bags. You know what I mean? You try to jump in at all these different businesses at first. I got the tribalist effect. You know what I mean? For testosterone. You know what I mean? Beard products. You know what I mean? Or you want that dark, healthy look for your beard? I got it all. You feel me? On my site. When you doing this at first, I ain't gonna count. Some people might feel like, man, I ain't got it like that to take no L's. Cause I'm gonna be real with you. You gonna take some L's kind of at first, like, you know what I mean? Thank you. You gonna take some L's at first, as far as, you know, it's gonna be times you make money, it's gonna be times you don't make money. Like, at first, in order to spread your brand, you gonna lose out. So, okay, like how I just showed y'all this testosterone, the tribalist effect, right? You take 2 capsules a day, it's 60 capsules in here. See results in 7 days. It's a dietary supplement, right? I might have to give my first few batches, you know what I mean, out. You know what I mean? You know, so it's kind of like I based everything off the hustle, like the weed game. Like I'm a original trapper, meaning like if I come to your block or wherever I'm at, I damn near might pass out a pound just on everybody smoking and every rolling up just sacks here and there, and then you don't know that's my way. You know, because I gotta take your mind off the people you got logged in your phone to make me at least be able to compete instead of versus me not giving you nothing, just my number. Like, hey, look, man, you have nobody don't call, woo, 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 woo. You know what I mean? I'm not saying none of this now. We speaking old shit. So I got to give you something to remember me by. You know what I mean? I the one gave you that, yeah, that tribe, you know, that tribe lotto effect. Yeah, yeah. Let's call him. You know what I mean? Instead of just giving you my number, Reg 8392, bro. What it do, family? Tap in, hit that like button. So that's what the hustle all about, man. You gonna take L's, you feel me? The thing is, at some point you gotta jump out there. You ain't gonna reap major income off the rip. But that ain't the thing. The thing is keep the merchandise and stay down. You know what I mean? That's what you gotta master. Quit looking at your business that you're trying to start, that you got to reap the benefits right now. Like, okay, let's all say right now, hit that like button while y'all in here and set your notifications. Right now, it's December. If you start stacking and copping and buying merch right now, and you tell yourself by summertime, you know what I mean? You don't got to buy a bunch of stuff all at one time. You know what I mean? You can break it all up. But the whole point is you stacking it and stacking it and stacking it and stacking it. You know what I mean? And you letting that way, you know, when one sweater turn into 2 sweaters, 4 sweaters turn into 8. You know what I mean? So you just gotta invest in yourself. Okay, yeah, you telling yourself, but I ain't buying merch, tribe, to give it away. I feel you on that, but that's the risk you got to be willing to take to spread your brand and your name. You know what I mean? You got to remember, we always be branding for other people. Louis V, Versace. We do it when we post on the gram, Facebook, social media, Triller, any outlet, just period. Snapchat in general. We already promoting other people's brands, marketing that shit up there, posing. Niggas got spread counts, you know what I mean? All type of shit, you know what I mean? So why not get your own brand, and then that same energy you got for Louis V and Versace and Chanel and Birkin and all this shit, you should have for your own, you know what I mean? Yes, it's gonna be times you're gonna feel the pressure and be like, damn, man, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's working out. But you can't look at the now. You gotta look at the future as far as on 6 months from now, 90 days from now, 2 months from now, or whatever from now. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, if you trying to brand your own shit, It's better to buy all your summer merch while it's winter. That way, when the summer come, you already got your summer merch. When summertime come, buy all your winter merch. The prices, you know what I mean, up and down. It fluctuates, you know what I mean? So, why it's winter? You know what I mean? I'm not saying don't get your winter merch. I'm just saying start already working on your summer along with your winter, you know what I mean? And you go have to sacrifice, you know what I mean? Like I said, it plenty a lot before. If you went from smoking an ounce of weed 2 days or whatever it is, or 3, 4 days. Some people last them a week or two. I don't know. It all depends on the individual. Then you got to cut back on it. Trust me, I always do stuff. I cut back on meals, everything. I don't sleep past 5 hours anyway. I don't care if I'll stay up to 2:30 in the morning. Just something about 5 hours. It's been that way for years. I just cannot sleep past 5 hours. I'm up though, 5 in the morning. You know what I mean? Hit my grill. You know what I mean? Shower, you know what I mean, get out, smoke some, and then, I'm on from there. The hustle and what you looking for, as far as if you looking for opportunity, it's not going to be there. Wait, though, opportunity only comes when you're trying to hustle, when you're trying to prosper, and you trying to achieve goals, achieve goals that you really set. You know what I mean? Hit that like button too. Me, I'm gonna hit my goal anyway. I was already who I am before the net. Like I told y'all, a lot of dudes. Who were you before you got on the net? Before you got on the net, who was you? Did anybody know you? Was you known for putting in work? Was you known for getting money? Was you known for holding racks? I came into the internet already G Rio. You know what I mean? Tribe culture. I've been there. So when I'm on here, I don't gotta portray or be nothing no different. You know what I mean? I was already a gangster. I was already who I am. You know what I mean? I don't gotta get street approval to get stamped to show I was already who I am. Me doing this for people who really know me, this is really just like an A+ of growth. Like, damn, I ain't never think my dog would be, you know what I mean? I knew my boy, he could capable to be in anything, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't be moving loose. I don't be shaking ass, but meaning shaking ass, not a female, but meaning like loose in the streets. Like, I don't just be loose out there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very militant. You know what I mean? Been that way since I was 10 years old. But I also know if I got a millionaire friend like 50 Cent, or my son was getting fatherly love and advice from 50 Cent while you was put away, and then you come home and you mess with Ross. Because do I think it was malicious? No. I just think it's just a arrogance and just a flow of a nigga nature from Detroit. I'm right down the street from the D. I done been to the D several times, you know what I mean? And I'm finna go there too in a little bit. So it's just that in Meech to just be like, I'm a boss, so he ain't thinking repercussions of damn, that's really. And then he thinking like him and Ross ain't got street beef. So, some people look at everything different. I always kind of play both sides, you know what I mean? Some dudes be looking at it like it ain't street beef, it's industry beef. So, you know what I mean? That's not real beef to them. But in reality, it is real beef with lawsuits involved, money involved, people spending millions of dollars on trying to humiliate each other. Oh, yeah. We got a problem. And then people be forgetting that Double MG gunplay, his chain was snatched at the awards when G Unit and them beat him up. It's an old video of 50 bowling in the alley with the Double MG chain around his neck. You know what I mean? So they have crossed paths before, you know what I mean? But the thing is for you to reach out to an actor who's on the Stars Network, he's there because 50 Cent seen the potential and talent on him. And you reach out to him saying, let's work. You're not known for producing nothing. You just known as Big Meech. You're a street legend who supposedly, not ratted, and allegedly you was that nigga back in the day. Everybody know that. So, but you got no credentials as far as on reaching out to real actors thinking that they finna do business with you. You know what I mean? So, nah. You know what I mean? some people still got a little common sense in them to go by, I'm not gonna bite the hand that feed me. You know what I mean? It's still a chosen few who understand that concept out there, who go by certain principles and rules, who have morals to say, you know what I mean? If a nigga took my son in like it was his son, put him through school and all of that, I'm gonna always remain loyal to you. Ross, thank you for the song you did while I was locked up. It was motivational, yeah. It was nice hearing my name on the radio or on TV, and you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, even if they didn't take a picture, he just told Ross that through a phone. Okay. And if Ross was a real man and a real nigga, he'll understand that, look, no matter what, I feel that, and I made a lot of money off your song, so I'm gonna drop you off at least $250,000. And then y'all be grown men and go about y'all way. You know what I mean? But you still supposed to know that Lil Meech dated Ross' daughter before he became an actor. So it's like, you know, he didn't see in Lil Meech what 50 Cent seen. You know what I mean? 50 Cent said the moment they had an audition in Atlanta and people showing up, he just took a step back, looked at him and like, you know what I mean? He seen it in him. You know what I mean? So, you know, but then once a person sees something in, you get to losing yourself. Like the one kid who played Ghost Son, what's his name? Michael Rainey Jr., whatever he is. Like he stayed grounded. You know what I mean? Like him and Lil Meech was having back and forth, but at the same time, he stayed grounded. You know what I mean? Meaning like he wasn't blowing $500,000 on a chain. He was staying grounded. You know what I mean? And those are the type of guys that 50 Cent like Michael Rainey Jr., you know what I mean, who stay grounded. Like, you know what I mean? We're not saying he probably don't spend money, but he's not all chrome heart out trying to be a rapper, hanging out with rappers, losing himself to the point you catching cases and you got people investing in you and you getting caught up in the mix. You got thoughts recording you. You just got so much going on, you loose. But I'm gonna be real with you. When I think about a lot of situations like that, it makes me think about how him not having a male figure really made him into the person he is. His dad, yes, his dad had a million friends and all that shit, but as far as his upbringing, you know what I mean, his mom probably went through so much shit that she probably didn't even really trust to have a man around him like that. So you could tell he didn't have no male figure, not even a basketball coach or nothing, you know what I mean? Because it's weird. It's like when you get $1 million illegally, I don't know nobody and people who in my chat right now hit that like button, that if you get $1 million legally, you'll just be randomly riding down P Street and get all of a sudden you caught with straps. You moving loose as hell. You going backwards. It's like, I thought when you get the money, you supposed to chill. Like, I ain't never known that you get the money and it's legal money at that too. And you go backwards. You start catching cases. You getting recorded on different chicks recording you on records. Got you, you know what I mean, begging and pleading and all. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, what in the hell going on? You know what I mean? That's why I'm glad I am who I am. You know what I mean? I'm not looking to just sign my company over. I partner up with somebody because I'm a boss already. You know what I mean? I was been a boss a long time. Even if it was a lane that was an illegal lane, I was a boss in that lane. You know what I mean? So I know how to conduct myself. I know how to go about a lot of situations. You know what I mean? So sometimes being who you was before worldwide fame is actually a good thing. You know what I mean? Street level fame teach you a lot. That's why you can never say F the streets like 21 and all. I'm saying that first because you get all your game from the streets and movies along with videos and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If you think about life in general, we all get our game from movies, life experiences, and really that's it for real. Because you know if somebody burn you once, they'll burn you twice. You know what I mean? You know, a lot of us, some of us don't literally got people teaching us shit. We literally learning the game through others. You know what I mean? Like whether we watching somebody speak or we literally watching and learning the game through others. And then we taking what they say with what we know and then put it all in one blunt and then rolling up and smoking that shit. It's shaking our head like, okay, I like that. Hit that like button while y'all in here. Remember, go to my YouTube post, check for updates. We got Tribe Effect testosterone, you know what I mean? Pre-workout, you know what I mean? 2 capsules a day, you know what I mean? 60 capsules, dietary supplement. You know what I mean? You know, health, mental health, and fitness. But yeah, the best way to learn the game now is just being observant and being patient. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you the grapes. You just gotta eat them. You know what I mean? It's all on you. We got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. I'm more of a listener than an observer. That's why I don't like to go out for real. I think I got like a PTSD problem as far as on being around too many people. That's why I don't go out to clubs. I don't go certain places. I see people shaking ass in. I don't shake ass loose like that. Like, to me, that's just too many people to keep my eye on as far as on, you know, being in an environment that's crowded. You know what I mean? So me, you know, I'm not saying I never won't go out, but I live a very modest way. Like, I don't really be doing too much for real, for real. You know what I mean? Like, if you see me, you see me. But if you don't, you don't. I don't gotta be seen for real. I prefer not to be known or seen. That's why I can go anywhere in the world. So you know why a lot of people really don't step out their comfort zone? You know why? Because the same shit that you could do where you at, you can't do it nowhere else. See, I'm what you call, I'm a real gangster. I'm gonna be who I be no matter where I'm at. You know what I mean? And I'm not coming with nobody. I'm coming solo dolo. I don't need an entourage, you know what I mean, to hold my nuts for me. I stand alone, you know what I mean? You know, so I'm a leader. You know what I mean? Always have been since I was a little pup. You know what I mean? And it's gonna remain that way. I ain't following no orders. I don't follow no line. I don't push no line. You know what I mean? So, for one, don't never be scared to stand out. I don't never believe in standing in. I want to stand out. Everybody wearing black in the club, I come in there wearing purple or lime green or some shit like that. You know what I mean? I don't never want to fit in. I don't never want to be just, oh, you know, whether it's a good or a bad situation. You know what I mean? Nowadays, they call that outstanding member. You know what I mean? So I always want to stand out. You know what I mean? I'm not scared of that. You know what I mean? Falling in line ain't really my thing. You know what I mean? I ain't really know. I'm a leader too much to be falling in anybody's line or program. You know what I mean? If any program I'm falling in, we call that the tribe effect. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, life will test you, dog. For real. It will. You're gonna go through ups and downs, you know what I mean? This set of friends, that set of friends. I'm not talking to this person. Whoop-de-woo, whoop-de-woo, whoop-de-woo. You know what I mean? It's on you to remain balanced, though. You know what I mean? See, a lot of people get caught up in feeling like they have to have somebody around them. Once you've been, and I said this before, if you somebody who done time, right? Say for instance, if you did 10 years, it's gonna take you over 10 years to be free to get on certain people mental level, and I'm one of them people. Once you be free longer than what you've done the time for, you can fully understand life at this moment. I don't care what you feel, you're not fully understanding life fully because you ain't matched the time you've been incarcerated. Once you match that time and more, and you really get looking back and you like, damn, a lot of my unnecessary shit could have been avoided. And you know, a lot of growth come with, then you get understanding that nobody don't owe you nothing. Like, when you get tired and caught up in these situations and you looking for a handout or whatever it is, bro, like, nah, man, you be a boss. Like, when I went down that road or whatever, bro, I wasn't worried about nobody, bro. I'm wearing George to the VI, bro, everything. You know what I mean? At the time before I grew my hair back, I had hair, so when I got in there, I had them goddamn Tasamis, boy. I'm talking about them bitches over, you know, all the way up to the hairline. If you know me, I got that Persian rug anyway, so, you know, you think I'm Indian for real. But, yeah, man, like, I'm gonna make a way, you know what I mean? I don't give a damn if I had to do hits for money in that bitch, you know what I mean? I'm gonna eat and I'm gonna find some type of way to maintain, you know what I mean? As far as on, I ain't worried if you send me some or not, you know what I mean? So, growth is realizing that I could have just been working the job the whole goddamn time. You know what I mean? The streets don't love you, but the streets can display love before your eyes. Meaning, like, whether you got a friend who mama understand your situation, and when you were at your friend house, his mama might let you eat there. It's a lot of ways. Like when I was coming up, all my friends used to like to be at my mama might not have known the real reason, but it was because my mom was laid back, and then I was a leader at that, so a lot of people wanted to be around. But my mama house always was a spot as far as on everybody want to come there, because my mama not knows that she's not gonna really be. I'm not saying all of this to say nothing bad about. We just saying how from my friend's perspective, my mom just was cool type shit or whatever. So don't get it twisted. Like my mom was losing. My mom is a good mom, but we just talk about being badass kids on the low that your parents don't know about. But yeah, all my friends used to like to hang out there. You know what I mean? You know, my house was a spot growing up. You know what I mean? So certain qualities and certain traits might not be in the individual overnight. You know what I mean? Some shit that already has got to be in you. You know what I mean? You can't build a person. You know what I mean? It's not like you go to the ball and build a bear. You know what I mean? If it's not in somebody, it's not in them. You can't force it in them. You can't, you know what I mean? It's got to be in them. You know what I mean? So I always tell you, I'm going to give you the grapes. It's just on you to eat them. I was who I was before the internet. And like I say, a lot of people, who were you before you decided to be a social media influence? You know what I mean? Like I didn't have to come here. Even now, I don't gotta come and wait on no check. You know what I mean? I'm gonna eat regardless. You know what I mean? That's why I have to tell myself that I need to go live more and do certain things more and build my brand more and more, because when you already been a boss for so long and all that and holding it down for so long that you so used to doing things at your pace, and you got to remember, you know what I mean? You trying to turn it up, right? Turn the volume of Tribe TV up, right? So you got to, you know what I mean? Really, you know, be knowing what's going on and jump on these different topics and all that type of shit. You know what I mean? So, but like I say, it's not an easy transition from when you've been a boss in other situations, and then now, you know what I mean? This is what you call, like, what I'm doing now. I'm able to make time for a study running the streets or hiding in the bushes or waiting on somebody to come to the crib, and you know what I mean. You know what I mean. We all done been in street situations. You feel me? So now it's kind of like, okay, I got time for this type shit now. You know what I mean? Like I could jump out there. You know, we have people on Trial TV from Indonesia, Russia. Some people be hitting me up from different apps or whatever. They over there in the service or whatever. You know what I mean? And Africa, Ghana. You know what I mean? And Tribe TV, I like to hear that, because truth be told, tribe culture is for all walks of life. You know what I mean? Like all nationalities. You know what I mean? Come together in peace and smoke a pipe and relax. You feel me? Not no crack pipe, peace pipe. You know what I mean? So, you know, branding, you know what I mean? Branding as far as your brand is gonna come with you not reaping the benefits at first, but then you get those chosen few people who understand that what you're trying to do, and they're gonna be like, instead of you giving me that shirt, they're gonna be like, how much you want for it? You know what I mean? Those are what you call supporters. You know what I mean? You know, you want supporters. You want people who you shouldn't even have to ask them. You know what I mean? Like they should ask you because they want to see you for something better. So when you prosper and you grow and your story makes it to elite levels, as far as well, you on fucking 85 South, you on these different platforms and all this shit, the Pivot and Joe and Jada or whatever, and Bag Fuel, just all these different platforms, they able to feel some form of your success, which one say, damn, I supported that dude before he was who he was as far as worldwide. He was already that nigga, but before everybody in New York or all these different places knew who he was. You know what I mean? I was supporting him. You feel me? So don't wait to jump on the bandwagon or something late. You know what I mean? Which is what a lot of people do, and it ain't nothing wrong with that because guess what? All money is good money as far as if it ain't me. I don't care how other people get their money, but I know so I can say all money is good money in a situation like this because it's going about it in the right way. You know what I mean? I don't give I don't care if you is a damn sheriff, fire department, whatever the hell. That don't got nothing to do with somebody buying a shirt from you or whatever they want to buy from you. You know what I mean? But I do make that clear. My brand is a stoner brand. It's called Tribe Culture, Tribe Gang. I got several different brands for real, for real. I got Tribe Gang, Tribe Club. You know what I mean? For my 420 brand. You know what I mean? I think I got some shit. What's up, 420? Yeah. I got my 420. I don't even really be representing that for real. You know what I mean? Remember, we still got the pink. Now I have to put out, but the pink. I don't even be really even when you be doing this. When you like I say, man, when you and I've been really doing this longer than all these niggas for real. A lot of these dudes just woke up one day and just said they want to do this. I've been doing this. If you don't believe me, go to my Facebook, G Rio. My stepbrother on the he go by Scummy for life. You know what I mean? If you was to DM him and ask him what was his first movie he ever played in, he'll say it's a role I had him play in like 99, 2000 or some shit like that. So I've been doing this, media and all of that. Then it's a picture posted even from 2016 of me and my son on my YouTube post. Just go check it out. So a lot of these dudes is overnighters for real. You know what I mean? Like they just woke up and the armor light touched them and they just, oh, I got a passion. I've been doing this. I might not have been consistent because I was doing other things. But as far as this social media thing, I've been doing this. It's just now I'm starting to make time for it instead of being loose as hell, moving and shaking. You know what I mean? Like I said, you go take some L's in the beginning when you bring in yourself. You know what I mean? Yes, you're gonna give away shirts, you're gonna give away hoodies, you're gonna give away certain stuff. But if you just look at it from a long term point of view, longevity, you're gonna get all of that back. You know what I mean? You just gotta take that leap of faith and give it that one chance to jump out there. You know what I mean? Like I say, I always got something going on. You know what I mean? We always got some of these different beer oils. I do shipping worldwide. You feel me? We got the black version of the Tribe Culture women's socks. You know what I mean? I had the white ones. We always doing something. You feel me? Always. I just showed y'all the workout uh span that's tight short for women on my last live. You know what I mean? Tap in with your boy. You know what I mean? I got them. I ship. You know what I mean? I'm still revamping my Shopify site, but you know what I mean? Cash App is on my YouTube post. You know what I mean? You ship your info to me or whatever. You know what I mean? We make it happen. You know what I mean? For real. One thing about me, man, I'm never a now nigga. You know what I mean? Meaning, like, I don't care about the profits and all that right now. You know what I mean? Because you got to always believe in yourself and see a longer, bigger goal for yourself. You know what I mean? And the thing is to try to stay consistent. You know what I mean? I told y'all, if y'all ever don't see me going live, I'm not just sitting up eating a bowl of cereal watching Netflix, bro. That ain't even my type of thing for real. You know what I mean? I'm putting plays together. You know what I mean? You best believe I'm working on a website. Like I'm doing something. You know what I mean? Like I'm not just not doing nothing related. Like this I'm gonna be real with you. Like when you really passionate about this shit, is really addictive because like if you somebody who headed in the lane that I'm in and you in a relationship, you know what I mean? It's very You know what I mean? It's got to be some form of the person really understanding you, because you're gonna always have your phone is a computer. You feel me? So if you serious about it, you always checking your analytics. You know what I mean? You want to know where you'll reach at as far as on the, just a lot of stuff that go on that people don't know, the people who just wake up and say, I'm gonna start a podcast, you know what I mean, and go live on Facebook. If you listen, I know we all got to start from somewhere, but if you ain't, man, I'm racks in, I'm thousands of like rack in. I don't just got just a laptop. Like we got real computers. We got like we real. Like it's like we thousands in, my nigga. Like people be talking about some. Man, you just started spending money in this lane, family. Like, bro, we already, bro. You know what I mean? Like, what? I don't brag or nothing like that, but dog, like we racks in, and I'm not just saying what I showed you like that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying as far as a lot of stuff that has took place, as far as with Tribe and stuff like that. You know what I mean? People just amaze me how they just turn their phone and go live on Facebook and be like, "I'm starting a show." Like, you know what I mean? Go buy one microphone and you think yeah, okay, yeah, you do got to start from somewhere. But you bought that one microphone 6 months ago, and we ain't seen nothing from you. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like that's why I say, like, some people don't even serve no purpose, bro. They just want to be heard. You know what I mean? What are you really here for? You know what I mean? You ain't selling nothing. You ain't trying to sell nothing. You just all mouth. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be doing nothing for no reason. You know what I mean? I feel like I promote other people's brand. You know what I mean? Why not promote my own? Why not get into building my own lane as far as on why not carve your own lane instead of always helping other people carve their lane? You know what I mean? Why not really be a real boss? You know what I mean? Why not, you know what I mean? Really, I was born to do this, you know what I mean? Promote, be a hustler. You know what I mean? But why not do with your own products? You know what I mean? You do it with everybody else. So yes, Tribe TV be about hip hop, basically entertainment, sports, fashion, mental health, you know what I mean, and prosperity, meaning, you know what I mean, we're gonna grow over here, you know what I mean? We're not moving on nobody else's time except for God's time, because he allowed me to be here and give y'all the grapes, and it's on y'all to eat them. You know what I mean? Like I said, um, go to my YouTube post, you know what I mean? Uh, go in there, comment, you know what I mean? Let me know your thoughts and your views on merch. You know what I mean? And at some point, I'm gonna drop my business email to make it more accessible for people as far as until I get this Shopify situation fully set up again and active right or whatever and shit like that. But if you got Apple Pay, Cash App or whatever, you know what I mean? We do business that way or whatever. But yeah, Tribe TV. You know what I mean? For those out there who have mental health, man, you know what I mean? Always try to hold it down. Don't do nothing crazy, because trust me, if you do something crazy, you know what I mean? It's no better place than being here. You trust me, you would rather be here. You know what I mean? So hold it down. Tribe TV. You already know what to do. Like I say, that tribe effect. I have my own. You know what I mean? I went through the hustling stages of the original, if y'all remember, the original. You know what I mean? Went through the hustling stages of that, or whatever, to the point where I did my thing with that, to where let's partner up and give you your own tribalist effect. Tap in with your boy, Tribe.